Mafia Definitive Edition is coming August 28th, 2020, and I am very excited. As some of you know, for years now, I've been wanting a faithful remake to Mafia City of Lost Heaven, and it looks like we're going to get it in late August, not too long from now. And any other information regarding Mafia Definitive Edition that happens to come out, including a potential trailer breakdown of the official trailer, supposed to drop maybe in a week or so from now, I'm definitely going to cover that as well. And whenever Mafia Definitive Edition comes out, I am going to be streaming that start to finish. Obviously, I am very excited for Mafia Definitive Edition. And I decided today, just for fun, for nostalgia's sake, we're going to go back and we're going to play a little Mafia Lost Heaven, City of Lost Heaven, Mafia 1, whatever you wish to call it. And I did originally play through Mafia City of Lost Heaven start to finish. Feel free and check out the playlist. We also did a free ride, as some of you are aware of. But I never got around to doing Free Ride Extreme. And Free Ride Extreme opens up the entire map, all the vehicles and whatnot. It's basically the free roam version of Mafia City of Lost Heaven after you complete the game. And we're going to do it today. We're just going to drive around. We're going to just have a random conversation about what I'm thinking when it comes to Mafia Definitive Edition, what I hope to be included in Mafia Definitive Edition, my fears, my concerns. And feel free and let me know below in the comment section your thoughts, your views and opinions about what you're hoping for, what you're concerned about when it comes to Mafia Definitive Edition, as well as those of you that played Mafia City of Lost Heaven, your thoughts, your views and opinions about this game, and experiences that you had when you played it the very first time. And what is your favorite thing about it? What are things that you would like to see improved from Mafia City of Lost Heaven to Mafia Definitive Edition? And without further ado, let's go on a little Free Ride Extreme. Okay, so here we are. I guess this is supposed to be Tommy's house in Mafia Free Ride Extreme. And the thing is, like, where's Sarah at? Where's Sarah? Sarah, by the way, that's Tommy's wife. Spoilers. So yeah, there may be Mafia City of Lost Heaven spoilers. So you've been warned. I'll try not to, though. I'm going to attempt to not have any spoilers. But there may be minor spoilers. So nothing major. But, yeah. Anyways, here's the thing. I don't know if we can get out of here. So we have Tommy's orange car parked right here. But there appears to be no way out of it. No, you can't drive through this. This is not breakable. And I'm having to use a controller. I'm not using a controller. I'm using a mouse and keyboard. I wish I was using a controller. I think there's a way to actually use a controller with Mafia City of Lost Heaven on PC. And this is not the GOG or the Steam version. This is discs. Actual discs. From the original version of the game. I bought it on Amazon a few years ago. 70 bucks well spent. And you can obviously tell that it is the original version because it has the music. Whereas, unfortunately, the GOG and Steam versions don't have the music because of copyright issues. I did kind of sort of do a little rant video about that a while back. Because in my opinion, if a performer, a musician, a writer for a song, if all of them are dead, and I think most of them are, in my opinion, I think that it should be public domain. That's just how I feel about that kind of music. Sir, I'm going to borrow your car. Hope you don't mind. We have to unlock it first, Tommy. Let's unlock this thing. Pick the lock. Alright, get in. And this is something I'm really hoping that's going to be in the game is all these cars faithfully rebuilt. Now, we have seen a few screenshots. I love the screenshots, by the way, of Mafia Definitive Edition. It gives me hope that we're actually going to get a wonderful game. And that's one reason why I think a lot of people prefer remakes over remasters. What you have with Mafia 2 Definitive Edition is a remaster. It's a remaster of the original game. Even though the original Mafia 2 is fantastic, even nearly 10 years later, it does have issues that we have pointed out in my Mafia 2 Definitive Edition review that have carried over to Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. And there's also other additional problems in Mafia 2 Definitive Edition that we talked about, like the frame rate drop, weird things going on in the cutscenes, audio issues, some other problems as well. And Hangar 13 is working on fixing the issues in both Mafia 2 and 3 Definitive Editions. Hopefully they'll get patches out for that very soon, and they'll be able to resolve the issues currently in Mafia 2 and 3 Definitive Editions. But when it comes to Mafia Definitive Edition, it's a complete rebuild. From the ground up, just like they say over on the Mafia game website when it comes to Mafia Definitive Edition, this is basically what they say. It's a complete overhaul of the original game, rebuilt from the ground up by Hangar 13, faithfully but expanded with 4K HDR ready remake, adds new features like motorcycles, collectibles to Lost Heaven. So not only is it a remake of this game in this city, Lost Heaven, but they're going a step further by adding motorcycles. And I really wish that they could have also added motorcycles to Mafia 2 and especially Mafia 3 Definitive Editions, because Lincoln Clay, the protagonist of Mafia 3 Definitive Edition, definitely would look awesome on a big giant hog. But unfortunately the motorcycles are only coming to Mafia Definitive Edition. Now, if they are working on a Mafia 4, that's the rumor that's been out for a while now, that Hangar 13 is also working on Mafia 4, rumored to be set in the 70s in a version of Las Vegas, then it's very possible that we'll see motorcycles also in Mafia 4. But when it comes to Mafia Definitive Edition, there's definitely a lot of things I'm hoping to see that were also in this game. Now, first off, little taste we have of the voice of Tommy Angelo. I don't know if it's the same voice actor, or maybe it is the same voice actor, but they brought him back in to revoice the lines, and maybe he just happens to sound older. So I'm hoping that it is simply the same voice actor, but it's just he's older now, so his voice is a little older. And maybe the little clip we get in the little teaser trailer for Mafia Definitive Edition is basically from quote-unquote older Tommy, as opposed to 1930s Tommy. But I guess we'll find out in the official trailer. But if they have replaced Tommy Angelo's original voice actor, which I think is the son of, what, Paul Sorvino, I think? Several people in chat in the live streams have mentioned that. I think it was Space Monkey and a few others. But I really do hope it's the same voice actor. Maybe they just brought him back into the studio to, you know, add some additional lines or revoice his lines, because a lot of us original Mafia fans are used to the way that Tommy Angelo sounds. I mean, it's possible that that guy will be okay. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But it's possible that they replaced the voice actor for some reason. I hope they didn't. I guess we'll find out more. And even if they did replace the voice actor, maybe the new voice actor will do a good enough job to where we're willing to accept that voice actor. But I would have preferred it being, you know, the original voice actor, the voice of Tommy. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. To be honest, I don't have that answer. I'm sure we will have more answers whenever the official trailer for Mafia Definitive Edition comes out, which is supposed to be sometime in early June, hopefully. And that teaser trailer really doesn't count. But the screenshots were absolutely gorgeous. And I hope that they bring back all the cars that we're seeing from Mafia City of Lost Heaven, completely rebuild them, and have them in Mafia Definitive Edition. And the racing, now, I don't want to throw out spoilers unintentionally, but there is one specific mission in Mafia City of Lost Heaven that a lot of us really hate. And it's the racing mission where you actually have to win a race. And I hope that they improve the racing mission, because that was torture to get through. The original version of the game, before they patched Mafia City of Lost Heaven, had no difficulty settings when it came to the race. And it was hard to do. It wasn't simply just 3 laps. It was several laps you had to complete. And you had to end the race in first place, or else you had to start the race completely over. But fortunately, there was a patch that came out that allowed you to, you know, like, change the difficulty down to easy, which was very helpful because, like I mentioned, the racing in the original version of Mafia City of Lost Heaven left a lot to be desired. It wasn't that good. So that's one thing I'm hoping, that if we have to do the racing again in Mafia Definitive Edition, that it's a lot more enjoyable experience than the City of Lost Heaven version, because that was a nightmare to get through. But this game is absolutely beautiful. And you can tell how alive it is, even for like a 2002 game. You see the trolleys actually working. You'll see subways actually functioning as they're supposed to. And that is something that I'm kind of concerned about, because if you look at Mafia 3 in New Bordeaux, which is based off of New Orleans, they have lines too. You know, they're supposed to have trolley lines, because in New Orleans they have trolleys. Like, the only two remaining cities, I think, in the U.S., I could be wrong about this, and if I'm wrong, someone feel free and correct me, that still have trolley systems fully functional is New Orleans and San Francisco. And New Orleans, even in like 1968, had a running trolley line just like it does today. And you would have expected the trolley line to actually work with, you know, trolleys running throughout the streets of New Bordeaux in Mafia 3, but nope, it doesn't. No trolleys are running around the map of New Bordeaux in Mafia 3. And it does make the game feel a little dead for anyone that's paying attention. It's interesting because the version of New Orleans in Red Dead Redemption 2, Saint Denis, does have a running trolley system. It shows how long the trolley system has been around in New Orleans. It's been around for quite a while. You know, from the late 1800s all the way up to today to, you know, 2020. So I am expecting the subline, the train line, the sub-train, trolleys, whatever you want to call them, to actually be fully functional in Mafia Definitive Edition. I think that's kind of a necessary element of this game. Well, the Definitive Edition of Mafia. But I guess we'll find out in August 2020. Some other things that I hope is that it actually does well with the controller, because the port version of Mafia City of Lost Heaven had issues. This game was originally built with use with the keyboard and the mouse, which is why I'm using a mouse and keyboard. So I'm hoping that they do a better job, they being Hangar 13, the ones that are rebuilding Mafia Definitive Edition, with making that version of this game, the remake, to where it feels good to use with the controller. Because a lot more gamers these days use a controller over a mouse and keyboard, except for the PC Master Race. So they definitely need to make it, it needs to be both. Like for the PC version, you need to be able to do what I'm doing right now and use a mouse and keyboard if you want to play it this way. Because I'm sure a lot of OG Mafia fans like me that played this game back in the day on, you know, PC, that are used to playing Mafia City of Lost Heaven with a mouse and keyboard, probably also want to play Mafia Definitive Edition with a mouse and keyboard. I'm not one of those people. I'm perfectly content using a controller. So it'll be interesting to see how well that works. But I feel like it's going to probably be very similar to the way that Mafia 3 functions. So I think there's going to be some similarities between Mafia Definitive Edition and Mafia 3. Some people may be concerned about that. If they do it right, then I think it'll be okay. Now, there are things about Mafia City of Lost Heaven that I want to see obviously improved. In the top left-hand corner, as you may notice, that big giant radar, that's what it was for its time. That needs to be improved with a better radar. I don't know if they're going to keep it up there, or they're simply just going to move. If I was them, I would probably move the radar down to the bottom left corner. So move that down, and they'd probably move the health bar over a little bit, along with the, if you happen to have a weapon and ammo, that's what I would do. So I would move the radar down, probably make the radar smaller. I would make the speedometer on the right side, I'll make that a little smaller, probably more aligned with the way it looks in Mafia 2. It looks fantastic in Mafia 2. So make it a little smaller on, you know, the right side. You know, clean it up a little bit. Make the radar, you actually have the map in it. Like, for example, you can pull up the map in Mafia City of Lost Heaven while you're driving around to help you navigate better. You just got to push tab. So that's where we are right now. We're in New Ark, heading towards Hoboken. But I hope that we also have a mini-map version of Lost Heaven in the radar itself. So That's definitely something they need to work on. And I hope that all the areas of Lost Heaven are faithfully rebuilt, along with the airport and, of course, the countryside, and as you can hear above, the train line. If they could have a fully functional train line and trolley in 2002's original version of this game, then I honestly think that it's a no-brainer to have it in the new version, the remake of Mafia Definitive Edition. Especially since it's a remake, not a remaster, because I feel like there's no way that they could properly remaster this game. I think that they had no choice but to rebuild it. Unfortunately, with the Extreme ride, there are limitations. We can't go this way, sadly. Boo, barrier, boo. But with the Definitive Edition, because of the fact that we've come a long way when it comes to gaming and the size of video games and the size of maps, memory, and whatnot, I feel like we won't have to worry about that in Lost Heaven in that version. Okay, I think Tommy's cars. We're just gonna have to. We're gonna park it right there, Tommy. We'll find another ride. Let's just go for a lovely walk. A lovely walk through Lost Heaven on this nice, relaxing day. I absolutely love the music in this game, and it's unfortunate that the GOG and the Steam versions don't have this music. That's another thing that I hope. I think that this music's going to be back in Mafia Definitive Edition. It better be, because I think the background music as well as the main score of Mafia Definitive Edition, vital parts of this game. Now, while I would want Tommy Angelo to sound the same as he originally does in this game, with hopefully the same voice actor, maybe he just came back and revoiced his lines. Not all the voice acting in City of Lost Heaven is top-notch. There's some good voice acting in City of Lost Heaven, and then there's some that's not so good. It's really kind of like a, you know, pick and choose. So a lot of people, I think, that have played the original version of this game are expecting the main cast to sound about the same. You know, Tommy to sound like Tommy, Paul to sound like Paul, Sam to sound like Sam, Don Salieri to sound like Don Salieri, and a few others as well. But it's also possible that maybe they just completely recast all the characters. And what's interesting is I just borrowed this car, and it's already running on fumes from the glowing red dot. So somebody obviously left this car there for a reason. And who put that ramp there? So we're going to have to get across the bridge and find another vehicle before Lisa's stranded. And that's the attention to detail with Mafia City Lost Heaven, something I really hope we also have in Mafia Definitive Edition. Also the same as Mafia 2. I hope that we have a gas system to where, just like with Mafia City Lost Heaven and Mafia 2, you can eventually run out of gas. And that's something they could change, because originally I think it was supposed to be the same with Mafia 3. But I think there were some issues, and that's why they took the gasoline element out of Mafia 3, as well as being pulled over by cops for speeding. Now that's something else I think some players are going to expect, is that if you happen to be speeding by a cop, they're going to try and pull you over. They're going to attempt to fine you. If you resist, they're going to then try to arrest you. And worst case scenario, then they're going to try to put you down. Alright, you can park now, car. We need another vehicle. Well, at least it got us over here, right, Tommy? Alright, so we need another vehicle. Alright, hey, perfect. Sir, let me borrow... Well, my car now, sir. My car now. Or maybe I want this car. This little coupe will be nice. Let's take this car, Tommy. Alright. And that line, I have a wife and children, don't do it. It's probably one of my favorite lines that NPCs say in this game. Oh shit, he's not happy. He's not happy. He doesn't like the fact that I took his car. Can't really blame him. So some NPCs react differently, even in 2002. Some will just cowardly let you steal their car. Others are like, no, I'm not letting you steal my car without a fight. I'm going to try and shoot you with my 38 special, just like that guy tried to do. And that leads us to the weapons. There's obviously a variety of weapons in Mafia City of Lost Heaven that are appropriate I don't really think that the weapons need to change, and that's one thing I feel like is going to be very similar to Mafia and Mafia 3, is that you'll probably be limited with the weapons you can have on your character. So I think that with Mafia City of Lost Heaven, if I remember correctly, Tommy could only have like a couple, like a pistol, a revolver, like 2 of those, and then like either a shotgun or a Tommy gun. So the weapons that we expect from a 1930s game like Mafia will probably most likely have in Mafia Definitive Edition. So the pump action shotgun, the 1911, the 38 Special, the Magnum, the Tommy gun, of course. You can't have a gangster game set in the Prohibition era without a Tommy gun. So I'm really hoping that we have all those weapons and that they are elegant, they look good, they sound good when you use them. And I'm sure that they will. And that's another thing I am kind of concerned about, because as some of you know, when it came to the launch of Mafia 3, it came out with some issues. A few issues. The game definitely needed some time, at least a few more months of QA, of testing, of getting the bugs and crashes and other issues ironed out before it was released. So I sincerely hope that by the time Mafia Definitive Edition comes out in late August, that the team at Hangar 13 has already taken care of most of the problems or issues or bugs and whatnot that the version of their game that they're working on has. Because I feel like if Mafia Definitive Edition has a good release and it is met with high praise and it feels like it's actually faithful to this game from start to finish, the story, the characters, the gameplay, the fun factor, the sound, when it comes to the world, the NPCs, the music, all that jazz, quite literally, then I think that Mafia Definitive Edition will be a success. And I think it will sell well on all platforms. You know, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC. It'll do quite well, even for players that are only interested in Mafia Definitive Edition, that did not bother to get the Mafia Trilogy. Now, in my opinion, the Mafia Trilogy is the better deal, because you get all 3 games. You get Mafia Definitive Edition, you get Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, and of course Mafia 3 Definitive Edition for $60 US. And then you get all these different packs, like the loyalty packs, which means you'll be able to drive around in Lost Heaven in Mafia Definitive Edition with Lincoln Clay's Drifter, just like I did in Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, or with one of Vito's cars. Should be a lot of fun. It's going to be extremely OP to be driving around in the Drifter in Lost Heaven, because it was OP enough in Empire Bay and Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. But you know, I'll do it for funsies. I don't intend on actually driving, you know, start to finish in the Drifter, by the way. And that's something else I think that they're also going to hopefully improve upon, is make a Mafia Definitive Edition a little bit more forgiving than Mafia City of Lost Heaven, because there are plenty of missions that are a little difficult in Mafia City of Lost Heaven that don't have as many checkpoints as you would hope as we approach Salieri's. Maybe we can get a car over here from our employer, who happens to be a very legitimate businessman. Alright. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this area is. The bar, you know, Don Salieri's bar, as well as the garage over here. We've seen screenshots of what it looks like briefly. So you'll be spending a lot of time over here for any of you new to Mafia. First time playing it in Mafia Definitive Edition. Get used to this area, because this is where your place of employment is going to be. Yeah. And I think up here is where the guns... Well, this is in the main story. This is where you can go and get a baseball bat, eventually get Molotov cocktails, eventually grenades, a Tommy gun, 1911. All those good tools that a good fella, a wise guy needs. See, there's Salieri's bar right there. And in the teaser trailer at the very beginning, we actually see from over here at this perspective, I think, if I'll do a screenshot of it. I'm obviously not going to play the whole teaser trailer because I don't want a copyright claim, but I'll probably do like a screenshot from like right here, but it's at night though, so it's kind of like here, and you have Tommy standing there beside a car, and he has the 1911, and the bar sign obviously looks a little different. I think it looks better, if I'm being honest. I think it looks better. So the interior does look good. I wonder if we're gonna actually go inside and free run. Now we can punch it. Punch that door open. So we can't go inside and free run extreme. Okay, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to how good the interior of Salieri's bar looks like, as well as all the other interiors throughout the events of Mafia Definitive Edition. Playing through it again. It's probably going to be an absolute blast. I'm very excited for it, obviously. Also, I have some small concerns here or there, but I'm going to give the team behind Mafia Definitive Edition a chance, the opportunity to hopefully give us a great experience, because I have long desired a remake of this game, not just for myself, but for everyone else out there that have yet to play the original version of Mafia with modern graphics. And I think the team that I think 2K Czech is working on it, I believe. And in case you're wondering, the 2K Czech team, maybe not all of them, but 2K Czech is where the Mafia franchise began. 2K Czech is now part of Hangar 13. So the Czech team, hopefully they value this game. It has significance to them, quite important. They put a lot of love, blood, sweat, and tears into the original version of this game. And that's another reason why I want to believe that by the time Mafia Definitive Edition comes out, it's going to be a faithful remake. And I don't know if it's going to be as good as, say, some of the other most anticipated games of 2020, like Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077. But it would be amazing if Mafia Definitive Edition turned out to be a surprise hit, and maybe even a contender for Game of the Year. I would love to be singing Mafia Definitive Edition's praises from start to finish, and of course, whenever I do my Mafia Definitive Edition review, probably sometime in September, I'm anticipating, according to schedule, if everything goes according to plan. But you know how things are. You hope we're still around to experience Mafia Definitive Edition when it comes out in late August. We hope that there's not going to be any delays, and that I'm able to play through it from start to finish and then do a review. And I want the review to be glowing. I want it to be favorable. I want to just, I don't know, pour absolute love and affection over Mafia Definitive Edition. I definitely don't want to end up ripping on it or tearing it down, because Mafia 2 Definitive Edition hasn't gotten as much love. And in my review, I was trying to give it some benefit of doubt, because I believe it will be improved with some patches. But at the same time, I can understand why a lot of the reviews for Mafia 2 Definitive Edition are not exactly favorable. I get that. I totally do. I am one of the gamers of opinion that when a game launches, it should be with as few bugs as possible. And that's what I think Mafia Definitive Edition has to be. It has to be a hit, a home run, a grand slam, hopefully. And I think that if it's well reviewed, if it's an enjoyable experience that brings back the old Mafia fans from the original game, like myself in Mafia 2, and a lot of us are praising it, and it also brings in new Mafia fans to the franchise and makes us have faith restored in Hangar 13 in anticipation of Mafia 4, which once again is rumored to come out in the 70s. Like it's supposed to be set in the late 70s, well, somewhere in the 70s. That's the rumor. It's not confirmed, just rumors. I don't know when it's going to come out. They haven't announced Mafia 4 yet. And once they do announce Mafia 4, obviously I will cover it, just like I have with Mafia 3 and the Mafia trilogy. But it would definitely restore our faith in Hangar 13 if Mafia Definitive Edition turns out to be a hit. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to put my faith into them. I hope I don't regret it. I really hope that I don't rue the day that I put my faith into the team that's currently working on this remake, because I love this game. I have loved this game since it came out on PC. And at the time, I was already a GTA fan. And so Grand Theft Auto 3 came out slightly before Mafia City of Lost Heaven, but Mafia City of Lost Heaven was actually being worked on prior to GTA 3. And I'm a Grand Theft Auto fan, I'm a Red Dead fan, I'm a Mafia fan, I'm an open world fan. I love lots of games. But the Mafia franchise has special meaning to me. And I really hope that Hangar 13 doesn't screw it up. And I have to believe that the developers behind the scenes working hard on Mafia Definitive Edition understand that. More than even I do. Because I'm sure that everything that's being put into Mafia Definitive Edition right now is love. At least I hope that's the case. But no matter what, we should have a trailer coming out sooner or later. I will once again do a breakdown of that trailer, along with any other information that comes out regarding Mafia Definitive Edition. And when it finally arrives, hopefully in late August, hopefully we'll be able to play it, stream it, start to finish. And here's hoping that it is a fantastic experience and it is faithful to the original version of this game. And even though 2020 has sucked, it's something that myself and a few others are looking forward to, because even in the worst of times, you always got to find something, right? Some sort of light in the darkness. And whether it's something you're looking forward to in real life, or a movie, a TV show, a video game like Mafia Definitive Edition, it's something for us to give us a little hope that maybe 2020 will turn around. But at the very least, even if 2020 continues to be crap and we have to write off 2020 and hope that 2021 turns out to be better, at the very least, maybe one of the good things about 2020 will be Mafia Definitive Edition. But final word before we wrap up this free ride extreme. Hangar 13, I give you my faith. I give you my hopes and dreams for Mafia Definitive Edition. And if it's good, I will praise it. However, if playing through it, I end up disappointed, if I feel like it's a letdown, if it's a glitchy, bug-filled, freezing, crashing mess, an abomination of this game, if it turns out to be nothing than a glorified cash grab that was not given the love and affection and the attention and the hard work that it rightfully deserves, you will feel my wrath in a review video and during my Mafia Definitive Edition live stream. I'm just putting that out there right now. And I honestly feel like that Mafia Definitive Edition is either going to make or break the Mafia franchise going forward. If it's a success, if it sells well, if it's well received and reviewed, then that is going to lead towards a lot of excitement and hype for Mafia 4, if in fact that is being worked on right now by Hangar 13. So just want to let you know, Hangar 13, we're watching. Us Mafia fans are watching. So Mafia Definitive Edition better be a success, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.